Yeah. All right. So now the wind's starting to pick up. It's awesome. The sun's still out. So the tree over here, I aimed for metering the shadows. That's essentially what I was doing. Here I have a different idea. We've got nice backlit leaves. We may change the angle here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do exactly yet. But what I am going to do is I'm going to meter for the light. And so it's going to be very bright and see what we can do to try and pick up some of these leaves. And basically we're going to have, what that means, we'll have wide open f-stop and a fairly quick, mediumly quick shutter speed. We won't be too slow. The wind's going to move the leaves, so we can't go too slowly, but we're not going to do it too quickly. We're not trying to do stop motion, but we're trying to capture the light in all of its color and glory through as it's coming through the leaves, and the leaves kind of being as an afterthought. And I might flip this around and with the same setup flip it to meter for the shadows and see, and so we have a nice contrasting techniques as well as goal in mind. So I haven't decided yet. So all right, cool. Let's see you on the other side of that one. All right, as we look at this, someone are going to wonder, I just took a few quick test shots. Well, wait a minute. He just said he's metering for the light, but he's opened up the f-stop all the way. So very quickly what that means. So as I come around to the front of the camera, the idea being that we're trying to capture as much light as possible, and what that'll do is blow out the details. If we were shooting to capture the light maybe in a smaller essence, you actually end up metering for the shadows. So if I were to say step down to f8 and shoot this maybe 100 ISO, maybe 200 ISO at 1/100th of a second, I'm going to get some nice light, but I also get the shadows. The idea, what we're trying to do is blow out the shadows. Many cameras will monitor for highlights, and that's essentially what we're shooting for here. So we're going to blow out detail and capturing some colors and some other things. At least that's the idea. And then right now I've got it 100. We'll boast to 400. We'll do some compare and contrast, same settings with just messing with the ISO as well. So enough jabber. All right, we did some more shots. Hey, someone sent me a message. Up here we have this really bright spot, and that's what we boost to 400 ISO, and that's really bringing out the highlights. If you were to look at the histogram of this, many times you're trying to get histogram to be slightly to the left, to center, depending on what you're getting to get details. We're trying to push it to the right. We're really trying to have, we don't want a huge spike at the end. We want a nice increase up and then around, but we don't want this blow out everything. I mean, that's easy to do. What we're trying to do is shoot for the highlights, but have it toned a bit. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, just leave me a message and we'll explain it some more. There's something on my lens. Oh no. All right, took the polarizer, no, the UV filter off that thing a while ago because it was just, couldn't get clean anymore. Now I got something on my lens. Yay. All right. Like how any of these came out. This was some of the early test shots, darker here, obviously metering to see the light and see the shadows a bit. This was a bit more blown out. This was what I was kind of going for. The problem I had was the angle. I have the light is too deep into the shot. Autofocus is picking up on the foreground, and what I really want is underneath the leaves. I need it to be lower because the idea was to have the leaves glow. This one is a bit of kind of an in-between. I took several shots, as you can see here. Some of them are decent, some of them are just plain crap. I mean, that one's just too far blown out. These would be good to try and do some HDR type things. The problem with that is these leaves tend to move unless you're in complete stillness, and that can be a problem. So here's the in-between shot. So some things that we can do. We can adjust some of the items. The idea was to try and get more of a glow to it. So let's turn the curve, the quick fix. I'm going to go ahead and close this one. I don't want to save it. I duplicated all these, so I don't really need to save them. And I want to boost the color, but I want to do it by it's still a program that I'm still learning. had it for quite a while and I've really done nothing with it. Contrast range, I believe, yes. So there we go. This is more what I'm looking for. And I don't know if I'll save this, but anyways, this is the kind of thing I was looking to do, is to give it more of a glow. I'd actually probably pass a little more red into this as well. A bit more, a little too much. I like to go slowly. I like to do things in small increments. So there's a little bit more of an idea of what I was trying to do with those shots. And it's, maybe I will save this. I don't know. I mean, see, we can blow out the green if we really want to, but to me, I think it looks a little silly. The idea here is I'm just trying to add a touch of warmth, not much. It's a little too far. Yeah, now it's turned off. So, add the warmth. There we go. So that brings up the browns a little bit too with that slight increase in the red. So the stems, the leaves underneath, these bits and pieces of the tree are a little bit more intense than what we had. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and save that. So anyway, I think I'm going to save it. I had to move the QuickTime thing out of the way. So we'll save it there. And but that was the idea behind this, was to try and use that light to really blow out some of the highlights and some of the details. And like I said, the really blown out images, or they just, I don't know, I just was not happy with them at all. And I think what it was, I was just too much of a hurry. I mean, here's a really big blown out one. And yeah, and then you could take that, you could take some of that effects to that, and let's say, let's do this. Interesting black and white conversion. We could take that and tone it down a bit more. It's not toning, okay, it's still working. And you see the tree there. Well, what happened? It undid the black and white. Like I said, this is capture index seems to, it does whatever you're clicking on, but it won't do it. I want all of it together. So there we go. So there you can get some interesting effects. We can boost the darkness, and let's fold in the contrast a little bit more. So, take it or leave it. But anyway, that was the whole idea. I'm going to go ahead and finish this video up, put it out there. Give me your feedback. What do you think of? Was this a decent idea? Was it half-baked? Was it going in the wrong direction from the start? Whatever you want. Let me know, and we'll all learn together. Thank you very much, and see you when I see you. Bye.